everyone, it's Peter Kerr from Daydream Nation, and I've got my buddy from Alabama back. How are you, John?
Doing good, mate. Doing good.
So I'm doing another rock postcards where I send an Australian album across the Pacific Ocean and ask John to do a little review, the good, the bad, the indifferent. And today's episode, we're going to cover Rose Tattoo, Angry and Anderson and the Boys, Scarred for Life. So, John, over to you. What do you think of Rose Tattoo, Scarred for Life?
Scarred for Life. Well, I love the first track. I can definitely tell where I get the AC/DC comparisons. That I've heard about this band, but really, before I go into this album, I have to say something. Can we just talk about this album cover? I mean, let's just talk about this cover a little bit. What's going on here?
I think it's Band of Brothers, mate. Band of Brothers, sort of.
There you go.
It makes a very strong statement, and
it does.
It really does. If an album cover has to define what a band is, it's like you don't mess with these guys. They're sort of Band of Brothers, and it is what it is.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting cover. I got that cover, and I also got a reissue, which I showed that up. This had this on it too, but of course it had it on the back. But anyway, Scarred for Life. I love the storytelling in that song.
Yep.
I don't know if it's autobiographical or not, but it told a great story. And I love the AC/DC feel to it. I thought it was a good chugger song. We Can't Be Beaten. I could just imagine what that sounds like live. When you get, it's like a big crowd anthem going on. To me, I think that, and that was a single, I think, correct?
If I remember absolutely. It did trouble the charts. It was released as a single. Yes.
Yeah, that was something that it did not do here in the States. This album didn't even chart in the States, just unfortunately. But I thought that was a good anthem, good rockin' anthem, a good feel song. Juice on the Loose. Hang on. For those of you who do not know this, who may not know this, let's see. I need a trick. I need a kick to get me running, make my motor tick. Oh, mama, come on, stroke my goose. Can we just say sleaze rock right there? I mean, just
well, it's very much in the AC/DC mold.
Very much so.
There's a lot of street poetry. You could sort of say. Another thing I just want to add in is that this is part of the Vander and Young stable. So it was produced by Vander and Young, which is all part of AC/DC. It's on the Alberts label, which maybe you can just see there, Alberts. And they're very much in that fold. So Angel City or the Angels, AC/DC and Rose Tattoo.
I feel like there was a lot of bands.
Pub rock.
There was pub rock. Great definition. Yeah. I feel like there's like a lot of bands that were on the tip of my tongue when I was trying to describe this. I almost felt like Juice on the Loose almost kind of has like a Status Quo meets AC/DC kind of thing.
Boogie, but lots of dirty slide.
Exactly.
There's so much slide guitar.
Like that dirty Rod Price Foghat slide. That kind of
slide guitar, folks.
Yep. Yeah. For anybody who loves slide guitar, these guys have got some nasty slide guitar going on here.
Pete Wells and Rob Riley, slide guitar, lead and rhythm guitar.
Yeah.
Dynamic duo, no longer in the band and passed away. I think Rob Riley or Pete Wells passed. Just monstrous.
Yeah. Yeah. And they got such a great, like a huge sound with it too, which is unusual for maybe a lower production, CD of this kind of caliber. Who's Got the Cash? Another one I could hear the crowd sing along to. Simple chorus, but you gotta love that "Who's Got the Cash" line. I think it's great. Branded. Again, I love that dirty slide groove that starts the song. Love that. The only thing I have to say negative about the song, I think the outro goes too long, but I like what he's singing in those lyrics, in that outro lyrics. So I kind of dig that. So it kind of makes up for it. Yeah. But it is like, it's like a 6.5 minute song. So that's kind of long for this style of music.
Yeah.
But I kind of like.
And the song's very much a statement on their lifestyle, branded and who they are. And again, if you want to align a song with the album cover, branded aligns with this album cover.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I can definitely hear that. Okay. Texas. So here's my take on Texas. My first thought was Cream called and they want their riff back.
Right.
Because to me, it sounds like Crossroads. It sounds like what they did with Crossroads. So, but I mean, exactly.
Everyone cribs.
But, let's see. I still love the lyrics. I mean, the lyrics are just so good in this song. It makes up for that. It makes up for that. I just, great song. I thought it was still a lot of fun. Nice take on the Crossroads riff.
What do you think of Angry's voice, John?
Again, I know this band's compared to AC/DC a lot, and sometimes you hear a little bit of Brian Johnson, but not all the time. But he doesn't exactly have a Bon Scott feel to it.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of it again. There's like a bunch of people who is like on the tip of my tongue, and I can't seem to spit it out who that is.
Yeah, one of his big influences. He loved Rod Stewart. So I don't know if he sounds like Rod Stewart, but it's got that raspy.
So what was it? The Faces was him, or was Small Faces?
Faces.
Okay, so Faces was actually a band that was on the tip of my tongue. So that was kind of a feel I had for that. So I could see that. But but I'm sure, and I think there's other bands that comes to mind too, but I can't seem to spit them out. It's going to work itself out. Again, I love the boogie blues rocker.
Yep.
A good kind of positive message for it,
yes.
too. And I dug that. So,
yep.
Okay, this is probably where I'm going to anger a bunch of people. Sydney Girls. If I have to be honest, probably my least favorite song on the album. That's only because of the reggae feel to it. I'm just not a reggae guy.
Yeah.
But here again, don't you look at me that way. You got me tongue-tied, but I got a lot to say. Don't you bend down to get that book. I might get arrested if I take a second look.
Very much of the time, 1978.
You gotta love it. You gotta love that.
It's in the Bon Scott Handbook of lyrics.
It certainly does.
Street poetry.
And again, it makes up for that reggae feel that I usually can't stand much of.
There is a bit of reggae in Southern Stars, which is the follow-up album. So I think Angry likes a little bit of reggae. And look, kudos that they're trying something a little bit different. It's not four on the floor boogie, but I understand what you're saying. Yeah,
it's a good mix of stuff, but it was still, again, probably my least off the album, but still not bad because the lyrics are just so much the time. It's perfect. Yeah. Dead Set. This is my thought. If Whole Lotta Rosie was done by Foghat, because it kind of has that pushing Whole Lotta Rosie feel, but you got that slide feel of Foghat. And again, I kind of dug the whole song. I thought it was good. And then you get the album closer, Revenge, with that wow, 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 wow. Oh, yeah. Brother, that crushing, heavy, pulsing groove. Oy, I like that. And then I kind of like that little faster bit, but that pulsing, nasty, slide, heavy groove. Oh, Great album closer. Great album closer. This album was so much fun to listen to in the car, because I put it on my phone and I was just listening to it in there.
It's like just a fist pump type. Yeah.
It's the kind of stuff I would have been listening to back then.
Absolutely.
A lot of the bands of that nature, I would have definitely been listening to this a lot. So yeah, I need to investigate some more of their the albums and see which ones I want to get myself into.
But, I'm here to help you, and you must get the self-titled debut Rose Tattoo. John, in my opinion, this is one of the great debuts of all time. It's probably in my top 10 Australian albums of all time. If you like slide guitar, whoa, this is just magnificent, and it's got all their concert staples: Rock and Roll Outlaw, Nice Boys, Don't Play Rock and Roll, which has been played by Guns N' Roses, and I'll talk about them in a sec. The Butcher and Fast Eddie, One of the Boys, Bad Boy for Love, slide guitar, dirty riffs. It's primal, and it's almost punkish. It's got a blend of hard rock, punk. They're one of those bands like Motorhead, where the punks love them and the headbangers love them. So, there are some bands that are sort of pull in different sort of audiences. Mm-hmm. Rose Tattoo's that, because they're not quite defined as a hard rock or heavy metal band. They sort of, they pull in different influences. But that first album is absolutely killer, Rose Tattoo. But
I will go investigate.
Absolutely. And Guns N' Roses were quite influenced by them. Every time Guns N' Roses play Australia, Rose Tattoo always come out. Either, Angry has done a sort of a solo spot, or guest stars, or supports the band. I know Slash has always said that, Rose Tattoo have been, this album was one of the big influences. Yeah, I think they're a cult band, had a bit of a following in the UK in the late 70s, early 80s, had a little bit of heat, but never got to that superstar status, obviously, like AC/DC. But even today, they've got a bit of a following. Germany, they've played the Wacken Festival. Look that up on YouTube. So arguably, they've got a bigger audience overseas in Europe than in Australia. And incidentally, I saw them last night.
Nice.
At the Paddington RSL, and they has still got it. Angry is like it'd be in his early 70s. He's got a new band around him, and they just played that sort of bad mean boogie with the slide guitars. And Angry's a really good singer, and it just sounds great. And it was fun. I felt like it was back in the 80s, and pub rock was back, because pub rock's a bit of a dying art in Australia, because in the 70s and 80s, John, there would be a band playing every day of the week in Sydney, in some suburb or in some town. You could see a band everywhere.
Wow.
And unfortunately, in the 90s, the poker machines, the licensing laws, and the turntable DJs took over, and the live scene has shrunk, and pub rock is a bit of a dying art. So it felt kind of, it was fun. I felt like I was in a time machine going back to the 80s, and the beer, the sweat, it was just great.
You gotta love it.
It felt like 1986 again, and just seeing Angry and the Boys tread the boards and do Rose Tattoo.
It's just to me, it's amazing that here Angry's in like you say, in his early 70s, and he's still out there trying to do that kind of stuff. I testament to him. It's like, man, my hat's off to you for that. That's good stuff. But yeah, it's a shame, because I looked like a lot of the original members have either passed away, or they've done other, and a lot of other members who come and gone in the band have passed on.
They live pretty hard, because a lot of those band members lived the life. There was substance abuse issues, but a lot of looking
at that, I can kind of see it.
Yeah, Angry is a survivor. And the thing I like about Rose Tattoo is there is a certain level of intelligence. I know we've been talking about the cheeky, maybe, tongue-in-cheek lyrics, but there is a lot of storytelling, and it's of the streets. So it might be about the drug pushers or the hookers or the red light district or the broken relationships or the drug runners. It's all very social observational. It's very social commentary. It's a time capsule of stories that happened at that particular time to mean, dirty slide blues rock and roll.
Yes, and you can't go wrong with that, because boy, that's, especially if you do it right. That's the big thing. You got to do it right, and Rose Tattoo certainly does it right.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
very good.
And there are a lot of dime a dozen bands that play slide guitar, but these guys play mean and brilliant slide guitar.
That they do. Yeah, that was just. Yeah, I'm definitely going to look at some more Rose Tattoo. Good stuff.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for that, John. Any final words that you want to say?
Well, let's see. Y'all go listen to some Rose Tattoo. Go find it. Go dig it out. By the way, this reissue, for anybody who might not be aware, has two bonus tracks. One's called Fighting Sons, and the other's called All Hell Broke Loose. Cool. I liked Fighting Sons, by the way. I thought that was a good track. Talks about sounds like friends gone by or something like that. It seemed like it had that kind of a feel. And then the All Hell Broke Loose was almost kind of a, I don't know if I want to call it biblical, but it was definitely an interesting style song. But it was good. I liked them. I like those too. So if you get these reissues, they appear to have some bonus tracks from a little bit I saw. So
cool. Good stuff. All right. Well, thanks, John. Everyone, please like and subscribe to Rock Daydream Nation. Please check out John on My Music Corner. He's got plenty of great content, more shows coming soon. And tell us what you think of Rose Tattoo. Put your comments, whether you like this album or any other albums that you may want to recommend to John. And John and I will be doing a show very soon. Check you later. See you.
All right.